Hello again. I got another little book haul. It's a small one, so I'm gonna do some things a little different this time. Show off a couple extra things. Do a couple little reviews, book reviews. I'm not very good at that, so that's the reason haven't done it very often. Show off some things that I haven't gotten around to because they're pretty good size. So I guess the first thing I'll do is show off a little present my brother gave me a few months back. It's a Pee Wee Herman lunchbox. I thought that was real nice, real nostalgic of him, and of course it's got the included thermos in there. You always got to have thermos. You know, I always remember these things being a lot bigger than they used to be, than they are. Of course, I used to be a little bit smaller too. Hard to think we got a full lunch inside these things back in the day. So that was real nice. Just had a birthday a few days ago. Had some people on Facebook wish me some good wishes. I tell everybody that they don't have to bother with that, so I don't deal with birthdays much anymore. And an odd thing I'll just mention about this in passing is my dad completely forgot about it, which I'm not going to remind him about it because I don't care. But it's yeah, on one hand, it's kind of bad when your own dad didn't remember, but like I said, I don't care. I've reached the point where it's an involuntary progression of time. You don't really want to celebrate that anymore, because the time that you have left is less than what you've already spent, and I don't like to dwell on that. And just as aside from that, I just recently weighed myself first time in a while, and somewhere along the course of this year I've lost 30 pounds. And it's not from exercise, I'll tell you that. Even though I get a lot of exercise at work, but it's not doing anything for me. So yeah, so you can take that as you will. And that's just a little update on me. Something I've had for a while. I've never gotten around to showing it off. It's the I Spit on Your Grave collection, a complete collection, all the Spit in Your Grave movies, bunch of special features and whatnot. They're all still individually wrapped in there. I haven't gotten around to watching them yet. And these are in a PAL/Region 2 format, which normally would be a deal breaker for a lot of people. But I happen to have an all-region DVD player, which they should play fine on that. Which I would recommend that if you're wanting to search for some obscure, hard-to-find movies or something like that, get you one of those all-region players. Because when I got this one, it was only like $35, $35 or something like that at the time. You can probably still find them for that price, maybe less. And they'll play pretty much any disc you want, except for Blu-ray. And some of those movies and stuff you might want to look for are only available in a European format or Australian format or whatever, and so therefore you can play them. That's my little advice to you. So now before I get to showing off the book, I'll do a couple little reviews here. I've already mentioned about this little book here, how Amazon trashed it on me. It's still, yeah, it's getting better. You know, if I press it in between some weights, maybe it'll get even better than that. I'm gonna, because it's small and everything, I can stash it away somewhere. I'm gonna wind up keeping this book. It was okay for what it is. It's pretty short, basically just a short story, more or less. And as you can pretty much tell by the cover what the topic is. It is not your general, I might as well just go ahead and say it, centipede book. You don't really expect what happens at the end. It's very B-movie-esque. I can see, you know, like something on the Sci-Fi Channel, and you think you're watching this a standard scary bug film, and then all of a sudden, boom, it goes off on this tangent. Yeah, they could have made more of it, you know, if they wanted to. I'm trying not to spoil anything for you. Just a standard fare, you know. The wife doesn't like bugs, and she's basically married this guy so he can take care of any bugs for her, and of course they're moving to a new home, and guess what? It's got bugs. So there you go. And it's do they rectify the situation? Do they get rid of the bugs? Who knows what happens? I'll let you find out for yourself. It is I'll just tell you one thing: the cover is not very exaggerated. If I tell you something, I'll just give you that little hint right there. It doesn't exaggerate much, is what I should say. The next is a book I read called How to Tell If Your Cat is Plotting to Kill You. Of course, I've seen this cover and seen this book all over the place. It's written by the Oatmeal, which is actually a guy named Matthew Inman. He goes by the name The Oatmeal. Okay. It's basically just a standard, nice comic booky illustrated format of issues that if you know anything about cats, then you can pretty much tell what stuff it's going to be about. And a lot of times you've probably already seen aspects of this yourself if you have a cat, or if you've been around a cat, you know a lot of this stuff rings is true. It's just done in cartoonish format and style for you. It's pretty enjoyable if you have a cat. It's something good, like has a coffee table book or something, a little place, like a little bookshelf where company can read, pick it up and read it or anything. As far as myself, I don't have a cat anymore. I used to. Maybe in the future I'll get another one. But at the moment, after reading it, there's no real lasting factor for me. So I'm going to throw this into that pile that I'm going to make a video for eventually of the stuff I'm trying to sell and trade off. So I'm going to stick that there. Which is also what I'm going to do with these next two. It's another comic book set, Deviations 1 and 2. I think, yeah, that's 1 from IDW. Yeah, IDW. There's 2. It's a storyline that starts off with the X-Files and ends with the X-Files in the 2-volume set, and it diverges into all the main series that they do. Like in volume 1, it's G.I. Joe, Ghostbusters, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and Transformers. And volume 2 is Judge Dredd, My Little Pony, and Star Trek. That's their main, as far as I can tell, their main series that they do. And it's the story centers on how in the past and all these various timelines, what if things have changed, and the two factions in each side of each universe got switched. Like in a G.I. Joe one, for instance, what if Cobra actually won? And how things would progress from there. And from a lot of standpoints, as time goes on, it seems like the status quo winds up getting maintained, and things more or less even go back to the way they were in the, with some slight changes. But it's if you're fans of IDW and many of these titles, these will be interesting for you. And it's the library edition on this one, library copy, I should say. Then you'll probably get more out of it than I did. I used to be a bigger fan of some of these than I was. Yeah. But I'm not so much anymore. So after reading it, once again, there's no, which actually is the fact with a lot of comics for me for some reason. It's not much of a lasting hanging on factor once I read them. I usually don't have to keep a comic like I do other books after I read them. I don't know why it is, but yeah. So these will go back into that pile too. And I don't know if so there's my 2 reviews. I don't know how 3 reviews. I don't know if like I said, I don't know how good that was, or I'm not very good at these, so I just, if I inspired you, good. Now I'll get to these 3 things back here. I haven't showed them off before because they're kind of big and bulky. We'll start with this one here. This is the Four Horsemen Quartet from Laura Thalassa. Pestilence, War, Famine, and Death. The storyline, or the summary that when I discovered them seemed interesting enough that I decided to go ahead and get them. I don't know much beyond what I've read in the summaries, just various things happened when the Four Horsemen show up, apparently. And I don't know if beyond that, if it's an underlying romance book, which a lot of things wind up being friggin' romance these days, or if it's or what it is really. Doesn't well, actually, there it goes. It says on the barcode, romance. Where you go. So yeah, I've read stuff like that before, so we'll just take it as it goes. If you know how interesting it actually is, or if it's more worthwhile as if it does have a thriller or action aspects to it beyond the romance parts, just go ahead and let me know and tell me just as much, whatever you can. No, I'll be appreciated for that. So there's that. Let's see. The next one, this one should, at least until, from what I've always known, it is supposedly the longest single book in written human history, or at least it started off as being for a while. I'm sure there's probably things that have since taken its place. For instance, I've heard Robert Jordan's Wheel of dang, I don't forgot what it's called. Wheel of Time, maybe, series. It's all supposedly one large book. I'm sure that's definitely longer by a factor, a large factor. So then I assume there's others too, but at least this one started off as being the longest one. And until either this year or last year when I bought it, I didn't even know if all the volumes in it was actually translated yet. And I found out they were, and available in a box set, so when I'm getting it. So of course, it is Remembrance of Things Past by Marcel Proust. And depending on where you buy it, or what edition it is, how many book volumes it is, like I'll try to get as single a volume as I could, and I got all of them in 3 books. You can get them in probably as many as 7 or 8 volumes individually, if you wanted. And then the titles between each of them change, so you can get a little confused by that. In this one, you get Swan's Way, of course, and then within a budding grove, the Guaramonte's Way, Cities of the Plain, The Captive, The Fugitive, and Time Regained. And that's what this one names all the individual books in it. And it is, as box sets go, and used ones, they're not that bad a shape. But the insides are really nice. The outsides are just a little bit worn, especially the box set. I don't know if they've been read much. Matter of fact, I don't know if they've really been read at all. Now I look at them. Yeah, I don't see much there. There's got some illustrations in the back of them. Actually, it's smaller in the front too. Yeah. So, for some reason, I've always wanted to read this story. For the simple fact it was, at least when I first heard about it, was the longest single novel in the written language. Like I said, maybe not so much anymore, but it's always interested me for that aspect. And this one, I never really was going to go for it, because it's fantasy, and I've never even watched any of the shows that TV shows that they were based on it. But I found out that there was a box set, 5-book box set, in these little leather, I guess you could call them mini leatherette editions, with these flimsy covers, and pages almost as thin as what you would see in a Bible. I still can't remember what format this is called. I know there's a name for it. But I like books in this format, especially when they're small like this. Bible format is what I guess I'm going to call it. So you can get the whole thing in as compact as a format you can. And I'll just go ahead and tell you, it is the Song of Ice and Fire series by George R.R. Martin, aka Game of Thrones. And this particular set was a little bit cheaper than the rest of them going for, actually by half price from what the others were going, at least, because this first volume here was coming loose from the text block, and as you can tell, it is not having any problems anymore coming loose because I glued it. Sometimes you can repair some things, and they're as good as new now. I can't even tell there's any difference whatsoever. There's a little bit of a conditions in it, a little tears, and this is going to take a while to read if I ever do read it, because the text is dang tiny. And like I said, they're trying their best to fit it in as small a format as they can. So each one of these, over 800 pages. This is the smallest one, and it's over 800 pages. Let's see, this last volume, the 5th one, Dance of Dragons. Let's see, it looks long. Let's see how long it is. Over 1100. So there you go. It's 1, 2, 3. That's like 5,000 pages, yeah, or better. So who knows if I ever do get around to reading this? I don't know how long it's going to take. So there you go. That's got that one. And I got a few things down here. Let's see. This is one I've been in my wish list for a while, and I don't know why I didn't get around to getting it yet, but I finally did. It's the Weird Tales of Tanith Lee. It's the stories that she had in Weird Tales magazine. I've always wanted to get a collection of all of them, and here you go. I don't know if I can show off that very good or not, if it's even coming through clear or not. Oh well, I tried. So there you go. I've trying to collect a lot simultaneously here and there. I don't have all of them. And, like I said, I gave away my Electric Forest books because the cover was too weird for me. I don't know if the story's going to be good or not. I just didn't like the cover, so I donated it. And then somebody brought this up in our book group, and it was a companion to his other novel. This is actually a book of essays and whatnot by Matt Cardin called What the Demon Said. And they said it was a good companion with his other book. Let's see if I can't remember. I forget. I don't have the best memory in the world. Two Rouse Leviathan was the other one. He's actually got a few others. Four, looks like 4 novels according to this. But To Rouse Leviathan was the one this is supposed to be a companion to. There's that. And I forgot what this one was about. Other than that fact, I just get to Lost in the Forest of Mechanical Birds by Christian Moody. It basically birds, maybe some other animals, are disappearing, and this guy, I think it's a guy, starts making other birds and robotic birds, I guess, and what happens and the outcomes from that, something like that. Anyway, when I saw the summary for it, probably on Amazon, I don't know, it seemed interesting enough that I snagged this one too. Kind of trippy, and this one is just weird, and I like weird. The Completely Inappropriate Tales of Gander Snitch the Goblin by Robert A. Turk. Let's see if you can get that in there. I don't know if you can read that. Whoop, sorry about that. There we go again. Yeah. Don't know if you can read that or not, if it's going to come through. But yeah. It just, like another one that's, dang it. I'm sorry about that. Yeah, I'll hold it. I only got like 1 left, or 2 or 3 left. But yeah, so there you go. There's that. It seemed interesting too. And like every book I get is interesting. It's the way it goes when you're a collector. Actually, and I got another Tanith Lee book. It's the Flat Earth, or The Earth is Flat. It's short stories. It has to do with her Tales from Flat Earth series. Did the 2 volume set that I got mentioned in the last or so book called the video. These yeah, I can't even see the camera at all now. Yeah. So And that's if you're gonna have the Tales from Flat Earth books, and you can need the short stories too to go to complete the thing, the reading. Next I got is Michael Bishop, Blooded on Arachne. Yeah, got a picture of a guy riding a spider. With a bunch more in the background. The cover is really nice. I like spiders and science fiction book. What can go wrong? It's really not. Yeah, it's a Timescape, which is usually a collectible edition. So it should be really nice. And then I got. I couldn't make up my mind on whether I wanted the paperback or the hardback for this one, so I wound up getting them both. So. Frederick Arnold Kummer, Ladies in Hades. This is a very thin Dell, a very old Dell edition. See if it's got a copyright in it. Ain't no way that says 28. Ain't no way that can't be 28. MCMXXVII. That's 28, 1928. Ain't no way that. Maybe that's when the story could have been, but this book ain't no friggin' 28. Let's see. I don't see any other date on it. Nothing else that. Yeah, it's got a few condition issues in it. Now that I look at it. Yeah. 52, 53, okay. 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55. Okay. You always gotta check to see if it's missing some pages. I've had that way too many times. Yeah. Yeah, it's got a little map on the back cover. I thought that might help with the storyline. So I went for that one. Then I just happened to see the hardback, and it wasn't too unreasonable. So like I said, it's showing its age, but it looks interesting enough too. And I thought, well, I'll just go ahead and get that too. I don't know which one I'm going to read. It says Sears. Sears put books out. Yeah, see what this one says about copyright and whatnot. Oh, J.H. Sears and Company, New York. Got the same one that had the big store. I don't think they're around anymore. This one says 1928. It's the 10th edition, it looks like. First edition in March, and there's two editions in March, and I got 4 or 5 in April and December 1928. So maybe they are both in 28. That's darn near 100 years old in both of these. I guess they're showing they're pretty good shape for 100 years old. I just not noticed that. Dang. See, books printed that long ago were not made to last. So if you can find them in any shape at all, that's not completely falling apart, you're doing good. So that's basically all I wanted to show right now in this this video. I got some things I'm reading or plan on reading, but I just put that off another time. If you get anything out of this, I thank you for watching it. I appreciate you. Like I say before, any comments, anything you want to say, anything you want to add, go ahead and let me know. And like I said, I thank you for watching if you watched, and hope someone got something from this. I'm just trying my best, and I'm not the best YouTuber or blogger or whatever you call these things, booktubers in the world. I'm just trying to do what I can. Maybe somebody can get something from these. So I thank you, and we'll see you next time.